So hypos, in my opinion, are one of the best valued animals, and you really can't go wrong with them. I really love the look, I really love the color, the fact that they age amazingly. There's really nothing bad that you can put them into, and I mean, there really isn't a whole lot to say. They're probably one of my favorite color mutations, right outside of Ultramel and Sunset, and as an adult, these things are just absolutely phenomenal, and the versatility that this gene has is just amazing. Like this animal here, an adult hypo spot nose. Another beautiful example of an adult hypo. Now, this girl has a beautiful color, a really cool stripe down the body, but what I really like is this kind of almost smoky blue kind of look that you get between all the alien heads, and overall that really neat kind of yellow wash that goes over this girl. Now, hypo does kind of get a bad rap as I guess a white trash gene, and that's because it's been around so long and it's cheap. But despite that, there's still a lot of stuff to do, and even in a basic combo such as this, it still looks amazing as an adult. And more importantly, when you start mixing it into other combos, you're just gonna get a lot of value out of that. And hypopides are even one of the better values, like this hatchling here, and this one that's basically a sub-adult here. Both of these things look absolutely amazing, and the color that's in these as they age really cannot be beat. Easily one of my favorite projects, and then you still have the ability to mix in better genes like Ultramel, which is actually the next stop for this guy. He is a hypo clown pied that is het for Ultramel, and we have a couple of girls that we're going to be putting into that rotation. And just the hypo aspect I wasn't a big fan of in Ultramel, but it does add a little bit of extra oranges because in general hypopides have a very orange look, and giving the base color of an Ultramel is only going to enhance that and give a really cool look for the animal. With Ultramel pides already being a very orange saturated animal, adding hypo to it just to really kind of soften it up and highlight those oranges a little bit more will only increase the, I guess, desirability of the animal, but also how the animal ages. And hypo is one of those genes that I think does far better than even Desert Ghost does in making an animal that's going to maintain a beautiful look as an adult. So real quick on the value of the hypo gene. One of the things that I mean when I talk about that is the kind of bang for your buck that you can get. Overall, hypopides are, I don't know, like $600 to $800, something like that for females. Males you can get considerably cheaper. And likewise, the same thing goes for like hypo clowns. Hypo clowns have started to come down a little bit in price, and I want to say like females are still in like the $1,000 to $1,500 range, and then males are probably, I don't know, in like the $500-600 range, something like that. So overall, with those being the basis of most recessive pattern mutations, getting hypo into those for double recessive projects is super affordable and pretty cheap in comparison to some of the other projects that are out there. And then you also have the ability to get these incomplete dominant genetics within hypo, also for a pretty good bang for your buck. Getting some blackhead, chocolate, hurricane, stuff like that into hypos is pretty affordable, and especially for what it does for long-term projects, it's almost underpriced. All right, back to the animals. And if for whatever reason you're not wanting to add oranges or different color to the hypo, then you could always take the color away with something like this, which is a true ghost, which is a VPI line Xanthic and hypo mixed together. So you get a really nice look that I think personally is better than the DG Xanthics. I really like the blacks. I really like the smoky kind of grays. And I just think these things look phenomenal, and there's so much room for opportunity with different pattern mutations put into this. Speaking of, we have one more hypo animal that I want to show you, and you don't want to miss it. So if you're wanting to add a little bit of pattern to the hypo, these are some options. We have both a blackhead Hurricane Hypo, and then hiding behind her is a Super Hurricane Hypo. And you can obviously see the effect the Super is having on this animal. You're getting a lot more of those curled biceps. In the blackhead form, you are getting a little bit more contrast with the amount of black that's actually in the blackhead, which is why it's probably one of my favorite mutations. Overall, I think Hurricane is growingly one of my favorite pattern mutations. Right there next to potentially, I don't know, it's really hard. I think Hurricane's definitely my favorite. Sometimes it is a really close call with super gravel type stuff, but that could be a little bit overwhelming. And with this, you are getting basically just that disruption of pattern while you still maintain some of those alien heads. And overall, I think it is an amazing look. And again, with the color that you get in Hypos, it really can't be beat, especially whenever you still get the blacks. And then you also get the alien heads, so that way it's not just completely blanking out the snake and changing the look. Because I, for one, really like the alien heads in the ball python, and just darkening everything up, adding those little kind of curly cues, stop being crazy, and then just adjusting the contrast is a really cool look, and I'm really excited for the future of Hypo. Let me know in the comments below what animal was your favorite and what you're working within your Hypo projects, and if you think there's a better gene that's a bit better value. I'd really be surprised if there is one. Either way, thanks for taking your time watching the video, and feel free to check out our Instagram at Nixon Reptiles and our Morph Market also for any animal that you'd like to add to a new or existing project. See you in the next video.